Double banger! Hip Hop Friday, round 2, second interview. Let me go ahead and get my. First, I just had Mikey D, and now, boop, boop. Hey, Bilal. I'm about to go ahead and get my next guest. So bear with me one moment, and thank you guys for tuning in. I love Mikey D, and you saw how it just flowed and everything. Bilal, we are definitely getting everybody we can. Hello, Raya. Everyone we can for Wine Dance Day this year. We are getting them. That would be dope to have everybody there, you know? Let me go ahead. Let's see. Good evening. How are you? First
Hey, good evening
and
to you
foremost,
too.
thank you for taking the time out. I know you're busy with your productions and everything, but introduce yourself so we could really chop it in for the viewers.
My name is Alonzo Herran. I'm a film producer, the CEO of Royal Family Films.
You do more than that. Let's go. Don't be okay. Look, you don't have look. Come on now. Tell them what you do. Your credentials.
I'm a retired police officer, real estate investor. I play in the political world, and I do a lot for my community, and I'm a film
He's
producer.
actor
So
in his productions as well.
yes, that's
So, how
correct.
long were you on the
Yes.
force?
I
Okay.
did 20 years in Newark, New
Okay.
Jersey.
Tell them where you from.
I'm from
Okay.
Newark, New Jersey,
Okay.
born and raised.
So, first and foremost, thank you. I know you're doing productions. Tell them what you've been producing.
Right now I produced it 9 films. We have I started out with the urban drama, then I got into the mixed martial arts, karate, underground fighting movies. Then I did 2 faith-based films, and now just finished up a comedy
Okay.
that should be coming out
Can you
this
tell
year.
us a little bit about the comedy?
Yes, it's called Not My Day, starring Mr. Commodore, and it's a nice story. It's a nice story about a guy who, from the beginning of his day to the end of his day, it's just not his day. Nothing is working out for him. But the story's powerful, so I can't
can't
wait
wait
till we drop it.
either. Now, how did you switch gears from being a police officer for all those years to now this? Has this always been your passion, or tell us about it?
Well, nothing that I done in my life was ever dreamed or it was ever planned out. It just happened. So it was just and when in 98, no, 90, about 97, around that time, I just had some friends around me, grew up in the projects, and pretty much was just, they saw something different in me. They were just like, I have a son that was planning for, and they were just saying that basically, like, we see something more in you than just average of trying to be out there in the streets, going to jail, coming home and stuff like that. So, I took the engagement and just tried something new. I took the test to become a cop and wound up just happening, just push myself to do something better, different. And during the time of I was on the force, I got into the real estate business. I started meeting a lot of different investors in Newark at the time. Um, and they were just, buying houses at a cheap rate, rehabbing them, flipping them to, first time home buyers. So I got my hands wet in that business for a while, and then I kind of branched off, and I met an investor who believed in me, and I just started making my money in real estate. And then I did that for, I kept doing that, still currently doing that because that's how I made my money. And in 2013, I wrote 2 books. and my first book was called Living with No Regrets, and it was basically like something around my life story. I took elements from my life stories to other people I know in the neighborhood, and put it into a fiction story. And pretty much from the book doing well, I decided to take my own money and invest and try to do a project, a movie. And it was more just an accomplishment. It was just something to say, at that time I was, I was like 39 or 30, 38, 39 years old. And I was like, I just want to do something to say I accomplished something, accomplish everything I wanted to do in life at an early age. But because of the book, and the first film, I realized that, wow, I love doing films. I just love, taking the idea and turning it into a script and bringing it to life. So after the first movie was done, I just wanted to jump into another one. And then it just was another one and another one and another one. And just not realizing that you was doing movies back to back, but you never really took the time out to market your first film. So I was just trying to build the catalog for myself. And then now here I am with 9 films in, and now I'm trying to market those so I can continue to do more, because there's always more stories from where we come from and realistic stuff that we deal with every day that we want to portray and put it out there and touch
I agree 100%. I really do. Um, Someone says, congratulations. Okay. Congratulations on everything you did and working on. And that was the
on. Yes,
clapping and everyone.
appreciate
Thank you
that.
guys for tuning in. I see the work.
Yeah,
I don't stalk people's page, but when I'm about to interview them, I go through their page to try to get to know who the person is, so I know how to direct my questions and things to that, how to move. And I wrote
absolutely.
6 books out, and I'm changing 2 of them. One is my autobiography, and the continuation, being married and then divorced after being together for 18, 20 years, and then divorced. So the trials and tribulations afterwards. What a mother with 3 boys, 2 older, one still 13, So a lot of people inboxed me and was like, yo, your book is powerful. Women was like, you stayed for the kids, but then you said enough is enough. Went back to school, got my degree. So worked a 9 to 5, but entrepreneur 24 hours, 7 days a week. So I can relate to what you're saying, and I love it, because people need to hear your story.
Yeah, and that's why I'm more stay in the community, because at the end of the day, I want to show brothers like myself that we came from poverty. We still in poverty, but at the end of the day, that we do have choices in life. And as much as a culture and a race, we don't support each other like we're supposed to. But at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself and push yourself, because I was in that boat. Like, I didn't have people, oh, you're writing a book, you're doing the movie. They don't support that. Even on my own family was like, at the time, and I understood, because at the point my father was just like, you dropping that book while you on the police force, and you're just going to get a lot of controversy and hate with it. But it was like, you know, I gotta live for me. Like, at the end of the day, it's a fiction story, but I gotta believe, because if I was writing a book for you, my mother, my brother, my sister, that book could never get published, because everybody has an opinion to it. Everybody that read it or has an opinion to not release it. So sometimes you just have to believe in yourself and push yourself. Just like I told somebody, you don't have to take a lot. It don't take a lot of money to do something, but the whatever amount that you have, make it the best that you can, quality that you can make it. Because at the end of the day, we are judged and criticized for everything. From when you wake up in the morning, you walk out your house, we are criticized on the way our hair look. Brothers walk around with do-rags on, and I used to tell my son, you don't walk out the house with a do-rag on. You don't come into public buildings with a do-rag. That do-rag is for when you go to sleep And if we wake up, you take that off, stroke your waves, whatever the case may be. We are judged, and it's not just by the opposite race; it's by us. We judge each other, you know. So these are important life things that we deal with every day, and we got to keep pushing each other and supporting, and constructive criticism. I get that all the time. But it makes me stronger. It makes me better. So that's me, and I just,
I love
we have
it
to just keep
because
pushing.
I tell my children, you represent me and I represent you. So how you go out this house represents how I raised you. I don't want pants below your butt. I don't want to see your boxes. I was like, do you know the reason why people wear their pants below their butts? And that comes from the jail system. We don't do that. That's what we're not going to do.
Yeah.
I'm at work and I have all types of clients. Oh, you wouldn't understand. I was racial profile, but you sound too proper to be black. I, I hate to
Yeah,
bust
yeah,
your
yeah.
bubble, but I am an African American sister, and I do know how to be racial profile. I was like, I had the police in Florida gun down my uncle. Do I need to say anything more? Yes, about racial profiling because
Mm.
our firm handles different type of cases. I'm like, I understand. I have a talk with my kids before they hit 10 years old about if we ever get stopped by a police officer, don't make any sudden moves. You know, the talk that our kind has to make because it's our kind.
Exactly, because yeah, and I said that to brothers all the time. I mean, that's the whole difference is that you already know that they are using that to get for the reason why something happened. You get stopped. Let me see your license registration.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move without them. Let go. Just go with it. We so quick to why you pulled me over, why that. You can have your fight, but maybe that's at that moment
No.
right there is not your battlefield right there. Go with the course, record whatever the case may be. Then apply it. But sometimes we pick our battles, and when we shouldn't, we just listen and firm and go with the flow sometimes. And I think that's another thing. Like for me, growing up out here in these streets, growing up in this community, is that I was the same way. I'm the same person I was 20 some years ago because I didn't let no badge and a gun control me. And it make me bigger than something I was. I was somebody I was already known growing up. Growing up, it was from skating, it was from karate, it was just from being in the neighborhoods. I mean, Newark had a lot of things going on at the time, so it was either, like I said, on the playground, different karate events. My aunt used to do this camping thing for the whole city like twice a year. So it was all the kids from all different projects from the South Side, West Ward, East Ward. We used to go to this camp called Linwood McDonald. So over the years, we got popular that way. We got to know each other. So, what they say, it's called status. I had status in the streets, but I never changed that. Never let that job because it's a job. It's a job. It was a job with benefits that helped me raise my son, but at the same time, it didn't make me come out of my character to think I'm above anybody else in this
I
world.
love it. I love it. And I grew up in Huntington.
What's
Hi,
going on, Dane? What's up, man? How you
everyone.
doing?
Riot Alonzo, you're just a force to be reckoned with in this world, 100. And
Yeah,
if
yeah,
there's anybody
yeah. Thank you.
else, okay, you spoke to that person. I'm just seeing if anybody else had any comments. I always like to include the viewers, letting them know we see you and we respect and thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Now, you're a village. You know that, right?
Yes, I appreciate that, but
Oh,
I still
yeah,
feel like I have a
but you're
lot to
doing it
build up.
though. It takes one to reach one.
Yeah,
And I
yes,
had a village growing up. So I try to be a village for my children's friends. They come to my house. I tell the parents, look, this is how I do. I treat them like they're my kids until they leave my home and go back to you. Is that okay? Because if that's not okay, then your son, don't have them come over because I treat them like they're mine. They love it. So when the people know that their kids is coming to my house, they're like, okay. I'm like, any allergies, any this, any that. I talk to them about relationships. I talk to them about education. Don't keep your head in one area. Just because you was in the hood don't mean you stay in the hood. You could travel outside. There's more to.
Yeah. And that's one of our biggest problems that I was talking to somebody earlier. I was saying that a lot of people never left the inner city. They think just going to the local city 5 miles, 20 miles radius is stepping out of their comfort zone. But sometimes when you get out of the state and because we used to, when we walking down the street, we eyeing each other, we mean mugging, we always got something slick to say. But when you go to, just use an example, you go to North Carolina or Atlanta, same black race, and when you walking past somebody and somebody say good morning, how are you? People tend, it's a culture shock. What? He's not saying what's up, trying to test me. He said good morning to me. You can speak back. How you doing? Smile at each other. It's a different atmosphere because everybody's not on that mentality. But sometimes the people that's all they see for so long, talking about 20, 30 years, has never left their own city. It's hard. You feel like this is the norm. Robbing is stealing is the norm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know very well, because I could be walking down the street and I was always raised, you look people in their face, you look them in their eyes, you smile, you say hello, you enter an elevator, you speak, even if they don't speak, because you're entering. When you enter a room, you speak. And I be on the street and I'm like, good morning. People looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And this is New York. And I was like, just good morning. Oh, I like your this, I like that. They were like,
fine. I see somebody, yes, ma'am, no, sir, thank you. But it's just when you do it so much, it become a part of life, like praying, like brushing your teeth. There's nothing wrong with giving common courtesy. But there's some of us, I say good morning to, a woman might think I'm trying to hit on them. No, sometimes you could change somebody's life. Some people that I say good morning to, they just like, yo, thank you. You first person that spoke to me or acknowledged me. Just sometimes you never know. You could touch people in different ways
never
at different
know what
times.
they're going through. I say the same thing, because I was like, and I tell people, you never know what someone's going through. You could stop them and not even knowing that they was going to commit suicide because nobody's paying attention. Nobody sees them. And you might be the first person that sees them. And they be like, oh, like they could be praying, God, give me a sign why I should be here. And hi, how are you? How's your day going? Simple like that.
True.
So now I've been seeing the royal family, but I haven't watched it yet. But it's on my list. I'm trying to manage my middle son, who's about to graduate from high school this year, deal with senior year. It's just like, everybody's like, when you have a girl, you throw money out the window. No, when you have boys, you throw money out the window too. Okay? Yeah. Senior year, doing college courses in his senior year on top of my youngest one in sports, and then me as entrepreneur and then working. I was like, so I try to have downtime and catch up, but yours is on my next list to watch. But I see the great reviews as well. And the actors you have been in the game for a minute.
Yes, yes. Appreciate that.
How did you round them up?
Well, from the first film, it was, like I said, I knew a couple of guys at that time was doing independent films, and I just said to myself, I wanted to be a little different. And I know in order for your film to get some eyes on it, you had to have some type of name to it. Don't get me wrong. You can have, we all upcoming, but at the end of the day, sometimes when you see a person's face, a recognizable face on the cover, that's going to make you want to see, or you see a trailer. So I just, I had a guy named James Parrish. I met, he played in Belly. He played in Belly. And when I met him and I was talking to him about my project, he was interested. But he also, he was one of the good guys that said, listen, man, I'm gonna give you some resources so you can reach out to certain people, and they'd be willing to build with you. A lot of people want to hold on to their resources. They don't want to put you with their connects, and he wasn't like that. He was like, "Look, man, I want to see you win, man. I see you grinding. I see you hungry, and I wanted to meet and connecting with Mark John Jeffries. I met Tretch, Charlie Baltimore, AZ, and from building relationships, you start meeting different people. And when we got to the second film, that's why I was able to work with Clifton Powell, Miguel Nunez, and Mano. It just doors start opening up for me. Connections was coming, but at the end of the day, like, you don't never hear me say, "This is my film." I don't never say, "It's my film." It's not. Yes, financially, I put out the money, executive producer, but it's everybody that was a part of the project, from the cameraman to the sound guy to the gaffer to the I'm the producer, or the actors, because it took a village to make this project, and at the end of the day, if we push this project together, all it does is open up other doors for them. I will say that every actor that worked with me have, from doing the project with me, have opened other doors for them. But you got to be hungry. You got to push yourself. You have to promote yourself. No one's going to push you harder than you push yourself. Some people are a little lax of that, but at the end of the day, that's
No,
how
I
you got to get
agree.
further.
I really agree, because grandma's old saying, you can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink.
I just want to say, hey, Betsy, how you doing? I see you. God bless your father. That was my guy. We got close in the last year or two before he passed. So where we come from, Dayton Street. I appreciate you. I see you doing your thing, and just want to let you know personally, Mike is always in my heart. Yeah. Yeah, during COVID and after COVID, we lost a lot of people out here. It's another reason why you need to be more blessed and just be thankful, to see another day. And I am grateful, no matter how big I get or how much notoriety comes my way. I'm always giving thanks to my creator.
I do.
Yeah.
That's why I created this show, Celebrating Life with Sunshine. One thing I could say, God was like, nobody's doing that. Nobody's celebrating each other the way we used to growing up. Like, we used to say, "Oh, that's a nice dress. Oh, that's a sharp shoe." I still say that, but a lot of society now doesn't. And God, like, it's time to
Yeah.
bring it back. So if you could reach one, I like to give flowers while they're here to everyone, because I've lost loved ones since I was little. I lost my father when I was 15. So when I say I look at things totally different, celebrate people while they're here. Let them know.
Yeah. And my father say all the time to me, he always say that, don't come to my funeral crying for me then. Cry for me now. Come see me now. And I say the same thing to my son, like, you know, learn to appreciate me now. Just pick up the phone. Hey, Dad, how you doing? I'm just checking on you. Because at the end of the day, there's a time gonna come that you ain't gonna be able to do that. And then you're gonna live. Some people they live with regrets. Some people living with guilt. And you don't want to get to that point. Try to appreciate the ones around you, appreciate life, appreciate the good and the bad, because you learn from. Sometimes I learn from the bad energy around me, the bad people I came across. I take that and just turn it into a positive. you know that's what we have
Yes,
to
and
do.
yeah, we do. And so I tell everybody, not all losses is a bad loss, because sometimes it's a win. You just don't see it at that time, but later you will. Just learn from it, take from it, write down what you liked about it, what you didn't like, the do's and the don'ts, so you don't repeat it again. That's how we break the cycle. But, you know,
So
so do we have another book coming from you?
No more books. You know, the book was an accomplishment. Actually, the reason was the book because my grandfather was a big time gambler. He was a businessman, and he took care of my family. He was one of the ones, the pioneers. He's one of the pioneer guys in Newark that brought Islam. One of the brothers that joined forces and brought Islam to Newark. I'm a Christian, but he was strong. He lived on his. He raised our family. You know, he supported us. But I remember I used to go to Atlantic City a lot with my grandfather. We used to hang out, go to New York. Katz was one of his favorite restaurants in New York we used to go to, and he used to have limousines pick our family up on the weekends, go to Atlantic City. We used to get the royal treatment. You know how they do. They, when you play big, they keep willing you in there. So with that being said, he used to always talk about writing a book. And I used to be like, he used to always say that I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. And he died. He passed away, and he never wrote that book. So that inspired me. Was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a book, and I did it. I just took my time out when I had a job. When I was on the force, I had a detail where I was able to write, and sometimes that it might write for an hour. Sometimes it might write for 20 minutes, but I just kept writing until I felt like I put a story together. And that was just an accomplishment that I wanted to do. So no more books, no more books, but definitely I just want to do films. I really just want to just focus on the real estate and films if I could. So I want to be able to tell more stories. I want to be able to listen to other people's stories and be able to bring their characters to life and put this stuff on the platform and just grow. But it's still a hustle. It's still a hustle. But, you have these meetings with different production companies, and hopefully things will work out.
Oh,
Hopefully I
you
get a break.
got it. You got it. You got his hands all over you. You
Thank you.
do.
Appreciate
Um,
that.
if he uses the most that been through the most. And we stay real. And the children, this generation now, they can smell real from fake. And you lived it. And they'll receive it quicker from you than they'll receive it from people that didn't live through it. So your hand, he has so much greater for you. And this is just not even the icing on the cake. Your doors is opening more and more. And I just see it. I just see it just for, going through your page. But it's
good.
Just talking with you and hearing everything. You have so much more that's about to come your way in a positive way. There's many more lives that you're going to touch.
Yeah. Appreciate that. I'm looking forward to that.
And I respect that about the book. You did that, and you always got that one family member who was like, yo, I'm going to teach you how royalty is supposed to be treated. So then we could pass it down to our children on how
you have to do that. We have to pass the baton. We have to show them what his life is about. And, just chasing, like I tell my son, you want the lifestyle. You want to live the lifestyle, but you're not willing to put in the work for the lifestyle.
Ooh.
A lot of people that generation, they feel a lot of entitlement, like because they don't know the struggle. When I was growing up and when I got a pair of Nikes or Air Jordans, I didn't know when the next time I was getting another pair of sneakers. So you cleaned that sneaker up every day. You drag that along with them jeans. You got them Guess jeans. You don't know when your next pair of jeans coming from. But like I remember my son was getting sneakers every 2 weeks, 300, 200. If I wasn't buying them, his grandparents, he would spoil you. So they feel entitled. They already when we turned 16, we couldn't wait to get our driver's permit just to have our license. We know a car wasn't coming, but we just wanted to have that. Man, I remember my son. Senior year. I bought him a car before he even has license. He didn't get his license till he was like 20 years old in college, because he was Ubering everywhere. It's no the
Yeah.
drop. They're not driven. You know, you know what? I don't have it. Let me call mom or pops. But the thing is, we didn't have them options like that. You know, our parents didn't have it like that. And it's always good to want more for our children. But at the end of the day, we got to step back and say they have to earn certain things. Remember, you have the chores around the house: clean the bathroom, mop the floors, wash the dishes, cut the grass, shovel snow. I didn't do that with my son. I was like, we had somebody come clean the house, but at the same time, that makes them lazy. So, to the parents out there or the younger parents out there, give them chores to your kids. Make them earn that money, earn that pair
Yeah.
of
Uh,
sneakers.
yeah, I'm guilty for that too. Cause yep, summertime. Oh, school shopping. You have $250 to work with. I,
Yeah, that's nothing.
250. Now, come on. Back in the day, 250 don't go far when you trying to look fly and stay. 11 years
Exactly,
old, I had
exactly.
a paper route. And then when I was 15, when I could work inside I was at McDonald's. Then so from paper route to McDonald's, and then from McDonald's, I was at A&S, and before it turned and merged into Macy's, I had my grind. And while I was in school, I had the blow pops. You go to BJ's, get the sold them 25 cents a piece, came home with $30. And I was playing CeeLo against the fellas in spades and coming home with more money. My mother was like, where'd you get? Listen, my daddy taught me how to hustle the right way. But they used to be
Right.
mad I'd be coming home. My mother was like, where you getting? I was like, Daddy knows. She was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I
That's right.
need more than 250 to go shopping because cute sneakers and being a girly girl and everything else. No.
You gotta stop depending. You gotta go out there and make something happen, but do it the
Exactly.
right way.
That's
You know,
our boys.
the
But
right
since yeah, they are gonna start doing chores because they have their own bathroom, and let's just say, yeah, no. I was like, you know what? I had been lenient on that, because I want them to have the finer things and everything else. But yeah, they was like, Mom got it. My youngest, he was like, no, Mom, that's too much money. Don't spend that on me. But he's a sneaker lover. So, he's doing good in school and everything else, keeping his A's and all that. But yeah, they need chores. They do.
way. Yeah, yeah. And just realize that it's more to life than just buying that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love materialistic stuff. But when I buy stuff, I buy when I know I could buy multiple. When I know that I got that money in the bank, not to just go out. I'm not breaking the neck. I'm not knocking nobody over the head to get it. It's just that, and I see a lot of parents today. They buying like elementary school. They buying their kids Gucci sneakers, and it's like, okay, you buying that now, once in a blue, but when you don't have it, what they gonna do? What they gonna
Yeah.
do? You know, so it's nothing wrong with it, but you gotta earn it. It's other priorities that's more important than just trying to wear something with a name tag on it. You know, because the reason why I could buy it is because I hustle and bustle for it. I worked hard, and now I could treat myself to those things, to the luxury things in life. And a lot of us, some of us learn the hard way. I do have a nephew, he's young, and he's not materialized. He's not into that. He shocks me. We talk daily. He's into real estate. He can't wait to do his first house flip. You know, and that motivates me to help him more, because at the end of the day, he's not worried about, I just want to make a quick couple dollars to go buy some movie sneakers, or to buy another new whip. He said forget all that. So we have to pay attention to those, because they are the
Mm-hmm.
brains right there. That's the future. They might have an idea that's trending now in that generation that if we paid a little attention to, that can make us millions of dollars. So that's the thing we do. We pay attention to the wrong things instead of paying attention to the right things at times. So we have to get that. We have to work. Life is, it's a daily thing. It's a daily redemption and just trying to get back on track and just trying to say what's the next move.
I tell my son, they all have different gifts. So my middle son is an actor, singer. So I have him having lessons and things. He's in drama and musical. He's won the leading role for the past 3 years. I would say 4 because he was Sebastian, the Little Mermaid in 9th grade, but he wasn't supposed to be the star, but he was the star. Okay. And that's not just mommy thing. He's the star. So, so I see their gifts. So I'm help fine tuning. My youngest, I told all 3 of my sons, I said, pick a career you want. I want to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, but also work at the same time. Think of something you want to do. So my youngest, he draws. He could look at something and draw it. So I said, okay, so let's tap this skill in because, yes, you're an athlete, but what if that doesn't work out? I want you to have something to fall back on. So I have my girlfriend who does art and prophetic art and drawings. She's coming over now so we could have him tap into his full skill of drawing. I said, we'll do different paintings, and then how would you like to have an open art show? Sell your art and open it. I have a personal account already saved for them, but they not going to touch that no time soon. But you open up a bank account yourself with the money you do. We'll have the red carpet. I have my girlfriends. I was like, mommy has so many connections. We could have big people come and regular people come. I said, I'll use all my contacts and we could do a big art exhibit. And we dress up as a gala. And like, you would do that, Ma? I said, baby, I'm your number 1 fan besides God. Of course I'm going to do that.
That's true, and that's another thing, to be appreciative that our parents or we had the kind of connections like that where we could reach out for a favor and do for our children. But some of them don't appreciate that, or some of them don't take heed to that. But and that's why I say we have a lot of talent. The tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Philly, just worldwide, period. Our kids, our youth, even adults, we are very talented, and we have to showcase that. Stop being scared. One thing I hate, I don't do a lot of talking. I do more action, and I hate to have those conversations like I talked to God. We all been like, I could have done this. I should have done this, but you didn't try to do it. I don't want that older. I'd rather say, you know what? I took a chance. I invested into this. I lost. I took a loss, but at least I could say I done it.
I agree.
That's about my line.
With regrets, do it. Carpe diem. Let's go. I was like, if you're not happy where you're working, what is your passion? Tap in.
Exactly, because you could, you made a point, and even though you could be working at a job, but you're working for your passion, your real true hustle. But at the same time, you should have something more stability going on the safe side. And same with me. Like I told my son, I mean, being a cop wasn't something that I wanted to do. I mean, it helped me connect to the public. Like, it was a lot of times I was able to minister to different addicts or different guys my age and be like, listen, man, you're not going nowhere in the route that you're moving. But at the same time, there was other things I wanted to do. But I told my son, right now, this is where this is what the bread and butter. This is where we get benefits from. Now, 20 years later, I could collect the pension for that for the rest of my life. And now I'm doing other things as well. So that's what we need to install in our kids, to our family members, and just outsiders. Just touch somebody. There's nothing wrong with just touching someone and talking
Financial
to someone.
stability all the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I wrote a
Wealth.
book on that. So I worked for Geico for 10 years in the department. I sat with Tony Nicely. I sat with the CEOs. I sat with the owner of the company, Warren Buffett. So when you sit in a room with bigger people that make bigger money than you, I'm getting all the nuggets I can get. And so then I'm trying to pass it on to our people. It's like, look, have you paid yourself before you bought this, before you bought that? Did you put money aside in case there's a rainy day? Are you debt free? Why am I seeing so many gold funds? Life insurance. You can spend all this money, $50 on liquor and everything else, $50 to the side, and you could do life insurance. So that way, if God forbid something happens to you, the person who's taking care of your children have financial stability, because that's adding another mouth to feed.
Exactly. Or basic enough, you know how many people, fires happen, break-ins happen. People don't even have apartment insurance. That's a $10 policy a month. We blow hundreds and thousands of dollars in a month, but we don't want to pay. If you rent, you have $10 to pay for. You won't get no rental insurance to cover everything in your apartment. Come on now, you know that's what I said. Knowledge is power, man. We gotta educate our people.
I did it to where my books, I have 2 more books I got to put on audio, but I did it to where I put it on audio too, because God says get them through their ear gate. So I do spoken words. I'm a minister. So that's another thing. I did foster care. So I fought the judicial system for these foster babies. I've done to the point where I've done spoken words about things reaching the ear gates. I do the books on audio too, because a lot of people don't like to read. And I'm like, I love a good book. I love to open and smell the fresh. True. Everybody says you're weird. Okay, I could be weird, but I love it because I can highlight. I have different color highlights for different topics. Okay, but I need to learn. Yeah. I have highlights. I have stickables. Keep notes, because how else are we going to learn if we're not keep feeding our minds and keep feeding?
Absolutely. And something got to motivate you. Something got to keep pushing you. Even though my son, he was my biggest push. He was my made me do go out here and do what I got to do. It still is. And I have a granddaughter now. So, yeah. I'm happy. My baby girl Zoe, she's 5 years old now. It was crazy because she was supposed to be born on my birthday, which was February the 15th, but she was born. So now I have even more drive to prepare. So, God willing, when God do call me home, that my son and family members will be okay more. But at the end of the day, that's how we got to think. We got to think like, people always, the Jews buying this, they doing that. But you know what they do? They plan for generations. When they buy stuff, they think about their son and their grandchildren, at least 3 generations past, after them. We don't do that. We have to start doing that. We have to just start planning better, investing better. And I'm telling you, everybody that's listening to me, I know you know me more probably as a filmmaker, but at the end of the day, the market is coming down some. And this is going to be the last time that you'll be able to really buy something and hold on, make a residual income, and be able to pass it down to your children, because this is the last way as far as my generation. I can't speak on my sons. I'm telling you right now, anybody that's in that 40 to 50 to 60 age that's thinking about any kind of real estate investment, within a year, get your credit together, have your finances, because this is going to be the last way that you could grab something and hold on at a good price. Yeah. Because after that, it ain't gonna crash for a very long time.
I will lead into that because my mother and I have a house on Long Island.
Okay.
And my grandmother has 2 houses, one in Florida and one in Long Island as well.
Mm-hmm.
The market I'm looking, I was looking to do Airbnb, getting a place, and if I have to rent it, gut it out and everything, or just put my swag to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the interest rate, yo,
It's up there now.
OMG. I said, what?
It's up there.
We like, I remember when it was 3 point, now it's, I was like, oh.
That when people was refinanced, it was at 2.7. Now you're talking about 5 point. It was up at 6. Now it's coming down a little. So once the interest rate come down, as it up, the market is going to come down some. But like I said, this is going to be when it does come down. Have your coins out, because there's a lot of foreclosures still going through the courts right now because of the COVID. The courts are still backed up. So once that stuff start having foreclosures, you got to be ready. You got to be ready. So I just want to say I see James Paris, the guy who I was telling you about, who put me on with all the different connections and with the actors. I see he joined. Just shout out to him again. The brother. He's always been there, always just been about wisdom and just passing knowledge. It's the other people trying to hold on to it. So I see my man, Ferg and Hanif and them, they on there, they doing their thing in the music thing. So, I mean, I love Jersey, man. I just love helping people, period. Because at the end of the day, I just felt like that's where my blessings came from. And I just want to see other people grow. I want to be able to just say, listen, this person grow and he's doing this thing and we're going to go support him. Because sometimes it's not like me. I don't go out a lot no more. I just don't. Like sometimes my body just don't. I might wake up and be like, I'm going to go out tonight. And then because of the whole day might be crazy, I just don't feel out. But what I will do, I will post somebody's stuff. Because you could just support somebody just posting something. That's the freest thing you could do. If you can't buy a ticket, post their stuff. Tag somebody, tell someone about it, and people out. But it's simple stuff.
We're here. We are so on so many levels. We're here. We're here.
And me, God bless Europe Harmony. We just started, me, him, and the guy named Jamal Hall. We started this thing called this Tri-State Co-op Entertainment thing, where we start meeting monthly, inviting artists, dancers, producers, directors, actors, writers to all come together and at networking parties every month. And people come from all New York, Philly, Connecticut, DC, and they just come because, like I said, sometimes you might have an idea and that person's trying to get to the next level. You might connect. It might not be no money. You might just, let's do a project together so we can help each other. You might have you have a social media marketist there, because everything needs marketing. So you got people that know how to really do marketing. And, there's people out here taking money and don't know what they're doing, just scam each other. But you'd be surprised how many people could be in one room. Who's your next Beyonce? Who's your next Jay-Z in the room? Might be there. So that's what I like to do. I like to collab and do other ventures with different people so that way we can showcase our talent, build a brand and just pass it on. Nothing lasts forever.
It doesn't. And I tell everybody, invest in yourself. Invest in you. Nobody else is. You can't be scared on taking that leap. Just take that leap of faith. I took that leap of faith. I left Geico after 10 years, went back to college, got my degree as a paralegal, did foster care, and fought the system to protect the babies. I'm an advocate for the kids. That's one thing they need a voice.
That's right. Some people can't fight for themselves. They need a person like yourself and myself to stand up for them. So we have to be there. We have to continue that.
We do. So with that, I'm covering Wine Dance Day. That's June 10th. If you are available, definitely I'll inbox you the flyer when it's all set up and done, because a lot of actors and a lot of people from Long Island is going to join in. Daryl Chilwell, that played in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
be chill, house party, Bilal, DJ Bilal, things like that. There's going to be also, he's getting the word out. I'm friends with Paris Smith, Hit Squad, all of that, Long Island. So if you are available, come through. You never know because they're doing a lot of things. Bilal's they're about to do something about house party. I can't say too much about it, but but we can talk behind the scenes.
True,
But
true.
they got a lot of
No,
projects
no,
coming.
I think I need this, like I did say this year, I need to get out and network a little bit more. I think that now that I have the ability to move and, I'll get the fly, get the chance to fly when I want to, is like, I need to take advantage of that. When I was working the job, I used to get calls, come to this party that's in LA or Miami. And I'm not a groupie, but at the same time, there was sometimes in those rooms, you never know who you can network with. So now that I have a catalog to stand on, and then done 8 films that's out, 6 that's out, 2 that's getting released, 3 getting released. And the thing is, like, now I can network. I got something to show for where I could get me in the room faster, instead of just talking about it, saying I got a script, I got an idea, because this is something that I've done. So that's what we looking to build. We got some good projects that I want. I got some other major films I want to do this year. I am going to do this year. I got to talk more in existence instead of talking I want to do. Just it's going to get done. But we got 2 major projects. One is called 8 is 8 enough, and the other one we're looking at to do King of North 3. So a lot of people looking for that. So we're trying to just get with the right people. I'm not trying to come out of my pocket and talk to some investors, but if I got to, I got to. I got to get it done somehow. We got to get it done. A lot of people have been looking for it. We got The Fearless 3 and A Father's Pride coming on Tubi within the next couple of weeks. So, and we pushing all the others. If you didn't see The Fearless 1, The Fearless 2, go check it out on Tubi. Support us for your family films. Tag somebody, repost it. All the love. We can have a casting call. So just follow me. Just follow me. I follow you back. I'm not one of those that be like, let me delete all my followers. Like I ain't following nobody, but everybody follow me. I'm never going to be too big on that. I just appreciate the love and support we can do for each other. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Website. Are you going to post up when you're doing casting calls? Tell them.
Yes. When we do our casting calls, we, of course, we do posters on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We do back backstage.com, Actors Access. So we do all the networks. We go work. We post it up. We do at least about a 45-day campaign on that, so we can let people know. Because you know how it is. People be like, why you ain't hit me up for the movie? Like, I don't hit people up. I put it out there. I give you the opportunity to come be a part of this. If you do it, you do it. You don't, you don't. People get mad. Like, I remember people used to say, oh, I seen King of North, good movie, but it wasn't no Norcas in there. Like, you watch a movie, everybody that was in this other movie wasn't from that place, but, everybody going to have something to say. You just gotta keep going, And I'm always give opportunities to my city first. But at the end of the day, you got to think about if this is something you want to do, then you got to get into your craft. You got to try to take some classes. You just gotta. People just be saying they want to do something and they don't think about it. Like, I know people that I want to be in a movie. How much is it paying? You ain't even built the resume up yet. When you worry about the money first, worry about getting in there, showcasing your talent. Then you can start saying, I believe in myself. This is my worth. That's the thing. I didn't walk into this thing and I was, trying. It was accomplishment. It wasn't about trying to get rich, but at the end of the day, when I learned I got a passion for it, I'm putting out my own personal money. I, of course, want to make my money back and then some. So that's what we have to do.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I screenshot something and I sent it to Raya. I said, Raya, I'm not a dummy, but right now I don't know. But by the time, because I brought the book Dummy for Screenwriters, how to do it. But I'm going to learn so I can teach myself. I used to write poetry growing up. I used to be part of the poetry team in high school, but I didn't know how to put a book together. I knew the who, what, when, and what, those basics. Yeah. But then writing my books, I learned as I went. Now I'm getting great reviews on the last 3 that I dropped and stuff. So I understand 100% what you're saying. Like, we don't know, but we're going to learn. I was like, why am I going to keep paying somebody who I was like, okay, I pay somebody. I don't know what to do, like the electronics and that. But I'm going to learn it so I can know what. So that way, if they get sick, I know how to operate behind the camera. If they get sick, I know how to start screenwriting and everything. Like, I wrote my books. Now I need to learn how to change it to the screenplay so then I can market it and so I can shop around.
Absolutely.
So, because I'm getting great reviews from women like, yo, I'm not alone in this. Like, God put his stronger warriors and more drama and more stuff to handle. So that way it's not just for them, but when they come out, they're helping somebody who's just going in or who's coming out so they can see I may have been through hell and back, but I don't look like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
that's right.
That's giving them the encouragement. Like, if she could do it, I could do it too. If she could go back to school at 40, I could do it too. It's like, don't limit yourself. And that's what we are. We're not limiting ourselves, and we're showing others you can do it too if you put your mind to it.
That's right. You got to. You have to. Don't take it for granted either. A lot of people look at what somebody else done and say, oh, I could do that. It's hard. It's hard sometimes.
They don't even know. Yep. You put up a stat yesterday or today. You put up a stat. Well, what y'all need to know is, one, you're not going to have many friends. You're going to be single. It's a lack of sleep. It's trying to multitask until you can't multitask. Yeah.
And it's like, to find someone that really understand your hustle, that your purpose, and really going to sit back and support that. That don't come often. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Spouses, like, you spending too much time because you know where you got to be able to see the vision with me. Even if you don't see it with me, you got to be able to say, I got you, what you need, or I got you. Like, y'all supposed to be a team. And it is hard to find. Like, you could be in
It is. Everybody always, even now, I'll be trying, people want to build, and I'll be like, you want to build, boy, are you really, really sacrifice? Are you really, really put in that work? Because they always talk about, how much can I make? When I do these networking things, if I have a director, a producer, a guy with a camera guy, a sound guy, and we sacrifice and BS so much in over a year period, we committed a 15-day to 20-day commitment and said we're going to come up with a dope project, we all can win. But it's always about the who's going to be in charge, who's going to be this, and who's going to call the shots. Let's go with the person who has the most, that really knows the game, really knows. Just like, what's it, Black Panther. When you look at them credits, there's hundreds of people in them credits. Everybody ain't named one of first and all this and that, but they made a great project where everybody won. Everybody won. Yeah. Everybody's winning.
Yeah.
I'll take it. And that's me. Like, I started out doing acting, but that's not really, I really had no, honestly, that wasn't meant for me at first. It wasn't. It was just something that we was doing, and a partner of mine said, won't you try? Because the character kind of was like my life story, and I really didn't see nobody that I was comfortable at that time. But I started doing it. But as a producer, and co-directing films, it's hard to do that because I'm in charge of casting. I'm I'm in charge of feeding my cast, scheduling my cast, finding locations. So when you're in charge of so many jobs, when you don't have the budget to pay a whole crew, you know, and trying to act in your own projects, it doesn't work. Because one person might not show up, one person late, food ain't there, I get triggered. And once I get triggered, it's hard for me, and that camera on you, you got to portray a character. You don't have, you lost focus. So I really took myself out of being trying to be the main, and that hurts your film sometimes. Sometimes you putting yourself as the main character really can hurt you, hurt your project. And that's what you got to think about, the project. You know, it's more about the project and staying in the lane where I'm at. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna still act, do pop in and out like 50 do, but at the end of the day, I want to stay behind the camera and coach and help people get their development right to deliver what I'm looking for. So, you know, it's just, you know, you progress as you learn and you make your mistakes, and that's where I'm at now. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm sounds like you little OCD like me, but it's a good OCD because if my name's on something, I'm making sure it's done the way I want it to be done because my name, like we win together, we lose together.
Absolutely.
I had God was weeding out who shouldn't be in the squad and he started replacing with the right ones.
Yeah.
Like prior, I need someone to help me change these interviews and move them to YouTube and make it pop.
Yeah.
I got someone, and I've been praying like God send them.
Yeah.
I'm doing. I just need the help, but the right help. And now the squad, we boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I give a little vision, and then they flow with it. It's like everybody's meshing now. Everything's flowing. And so it's like, whoo, they got that. Whoo, Rye got that. I'm in Jamaica, and I can relax with the boys. I haven't relaxed.
I'm in Jersey all the time. I got a house in Georgia. I'm paying the mortgage. I can't even go there and visit. I can't, you know, it's like I'm so busy tied in, but I have to learn that. I realized I needed to change my schedule. So I'm like, 9 to 5. If it ain't really an emergency, then I need to just fall back. So because, you know, at the end of the day, and don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm ever be in the situation where I'm gonna just don't know how to not do nothing. But at the same time, you have to think about your health first. I love to get up early in the morning, go to the gym, and then come home, shower, and start my day. You know, it got to become a part of life because, you know, you can't let everybody get to you at once because at the end of the day, when we leave, we forgot about so fast. So you don't want to kill yourself faster than you should.
I just wrote a poem saying why rush. I just put up the stat why rush to see what people would comment on. And they was like, because it's our last days. We gotta I was like, it's a poem. Yeah. I was like, I waited for everybody to start commenting and then I responded. I was like, it's just the title of a poem. But I'm like, why rush to work when it's a job you don't like? And if you die today, I'm not telling it all and putting it all
Yeah,
together. Me, if you die today, they could replace you within the thing.
they will replace
you. You know, they will replace you. So are you doing what you really love? Are you doing your passion? Yeah, we got a 9 to 5, but are you doing the rest of the time? What are you doing with the rest of your time? Like you said, you up early. I'm up like 2, 3 o'clock. I'm praying my scripture. Then I pray and then be like, okay, house is quiet. That's my best time to first pray and then get centered, and then boom, I'm doing this. Da, da, da. I'm either writing my poem or getting my spoken word ready, or I'm writing the next chapter for the book. And then I look, 2 more hours I can sleep before I got to wake up the kids to get them ready for school. Okay. Then I try. Then I'm like, okay, 9 to 5, running around doing mommy duties, and then sports and everything else. And then, okay, after work, pick it up, boom, boom, pick it up. You know, like we always on a go, but we do need to take time out for ourselves. We do need to. And I'm learning how. And Ryan was like, "Did you sleep? How you sleep?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it. I sleep when my head hits the pillow, you know." But to take 5 days off, take the boys, and just let us have fun. We did the horseback riding in the ocean in Jamaica. We did zip line, and we was just relaxed. Like it was a escape from the world for 5 days.
Yeah.
And then here we go, back to real life again. But you know, you do. So I'm gonna tell you, take some time for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have to.
Yeah.
Just, and it's hard because our mind don't shut off.
No, mine don't never stop. So
Mine don't either. I have a pen and pad next to my bed above my headboard. So when I wake up and something's in my, I'm like, ooh, I be dreaming of the next.
yeah, I do that. I go to my notes in my phone and I just type it in there. So when I wake up, I might come back to it and
And continue.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll do a video because I don't want to write. I'll just say it so that way I could, like, especially when I'm doing a spoken word, writing it and hearing how I want it to sound that it's in my head is two different things. So I do the video. And then when I go into the studio, I'm reading it, but then I go to the video and the video brings back the beat properly. I don't know if it makes, you know, it makes sense to me because my producer was like, you heard all that? Yeah. I was like, you heard that? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Says, yes, I second that. Please take what you're more. I know. She says she second that. Take some time.
Yeah.
And can you hear something I wrote? Okay. One of them is I celebrate you. This is called Celebrating Life with Sunshine. I don't just celebrate me, I celebrate others. So it goes, I celebrate you. Don't you know we all what we had in the past? I celebrate you. You know, and then there's one about baby girl. I'm on all platforms just under my name, Nicole Dalton. Baby girl, keep doing your thing. Baby girl, keep doing your thing. Baby girl, 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 girl. I see you, baby girl. I see those hard working nights, late nights, no support. I see you. Keep doing your thing. Baby girl, shine. I try to bring out positive messages to people, you know, letting them know just because people aren't rooting you on, I see you.
Exactly. Exactly.
You got to be a leader, especially when you're going through the darkest times and it's silence and people separate and show their true colors, and you got God. And I don't know anybody's religion, but I believe in God. So when it's just you and God and you like the world is all at you, you got to be your number one cheerleader. You got stuff on. Write cue cards and speak life over yourself. Remind yourself you're beautiful. If somebody tries to tell you you're ugly, no, you're beautiful. We're all created in our own God's image. So don't try to do the surgery to try to fit in and go into debt, take loans out. You're beautiful just how you are. So that's just like to say I celebrate others because you never know.
Supposed to. Sometimes, you know, like I tell people, I support people that don't even support me back. And it's, I don't take it personal because at the end of the day is that I might really like something that you got going on. You know, if you don't support me back, that's okay because God made me who I am. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I said, you know, that I try not to move with the hatred thing. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. You know, just try to encourage people and lift them up and support them if I could. You know, I just don't say nothing at all, you know, but at the end of the day, we have to showcase our talent and poetry. You know, I've seen a lot of poets that's doing their thing and get to touch other people. You know, my mayor, he's a powerful speaker. You know, he's a poet by trade. He's an educational guy. But at the end of the day, he's very powerful. And I support him because of the way he speaks. You know, we all human, but when he speaks, he's powerful and he get to you. So, and we need more of that. We need more of the Malcolm X's that's speaking. We need more of the Dr. Martin Luther Kings that's out here because those are the little things that's when somebody says something, it's going to trigger you to push harder, to push yourself harder. You know, I remember the first time I saw Malcolm X, the movie in high school. I was going to school. I was on fire. But it was just good energy.
Yeah.
That's the energy that we need. Even sometimes, I heard my mayor speak, and I take his quotes and I remember, I just keep them to myself and I go use them speaking to other people. And it's like, because I'm on fire now, I just feel like I need to say that to someone else so they, put that fire behind them and they can go touch somebody else. So that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Taking, and, you're going to be a follower, be a good follower. Because that's the problem with this generation. It's a lot of followers. Be a good follower.
Yeah. I also tell them be a good leader too.
Yeah, but you be a good follower, a good listener, you'll turn into a good leader.
Amen. Yes. Yes.
So those little things, those little elements that we must do, just, I'm not, my partner told me, and shout out to him, Echo Yankee, he told me, he said, it's not about being rich. It's about just maintaining what we have. And when he said that to me, it was about a couple months ago. I took heed to that. So you'll never hear me saying, "Oh, I'm going to get rich." Nah, I just want to maintain what I have and to be able to, give something to people to touch their lives as well. That's the goal.
It is. It is. It is. And I also add on, try to make a dent in someone else's life, a positive one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you see something wrong, stand up.
Yeah.
Speak. Like my children, I teach them we don't bully, and if we're around and we see someone being bullied, we stand up. We speak up. We don't let. Nah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to leave your viewers before we go? Because I know.
Like I said, thanks for having me. For the ones that don't know, my name is Alonzo Herran, born and raised in North New Jersey. Please support Royal Family Films. We have 6 movies out on Tubi right now. Living with No Regrets, King of North Part 2. We have The Fearless 1, The Fearless 2, and A Second Chance. Coming within the next few weeks, we have A Father's Pride and The Fearless 3. We're going to be casting for Is 8 Enough, King of North 3, and just, follow me. You got networking events coming up. We're going to try to do a big fundraiser for King of North 3 because our fans has really been looking to support this project. They're looking for the next, the next hint, the next thing, and I just want to be able to deliver it to them. So, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I've seen a lot of people that tune in and join that follows me and just keep supporting and repost the stuff. Inbox me. Let me know, some way I can help you out or, send you in the right direction. Yeah, let's work. Let's work. I'm ready. So thank you for having me again. Follow me, H Royal Family, and the website is royalfamilyfilmscorp.com.
Okay. And someone said, "Will Fearless 4 happen?"
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think if you saw 3, I got to see how I could carry the story. I have to see. But I'm always willing to make a spinoff.
Yeah. I know that. Right? So much for taking time out to speaking to us and the viewers. Thank you for what you're doing and what you're about to do. And I'll inbox you the flyer when it's ready. When you have the flyers, send them to me and I will share them as well. That's what we do. We network. We share.
Thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. Have a great and safe weekend. Bye.